The last one is claircognizance, and it's a little bit hard to describe. And I can only explain it mostly through an example. But claircognizance is the ability to receive information on a seventh chakra level. So it comes in, but it really avoids a lot of your filters. And you just know things off the top of your head. That's the classic line. You know things off the top of your head. Now, I personally have come to the realization that my claircognizance is directly attached to my mouth. And so there are times where there's something going on and I will just make a comment. However, those comments are true. Millions of years ago, before I was Rita the psychic chick or Dr. Rita, I was working at a job and the lab manager, I was young, the lab manager didn't come into work one day, which was abnormal, very abnormal. The next day, I walked up to him, crossed my arms, looked him in the face and said, well, where were you yesterday? Having them checked for a brain tumor? And his face turned white and he walked out of the room for me to find out that was where he was the day before, having them checked for a brain tumor. Oops. You know, so if you have that kind of experience, if you just make a comment and it turns out to be not only kind of true, but like on point, right there true, it's your claircognizance. You know, so there's how we receive information in the general sense, but then there's also how individuals are able to process certain kinds of information easier than other kinds of information. So for example, I work as a medical intuitive. And so it is very easy for me to look at and access information about a person's health, physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, on intuitive levels. It just comes to me